Well, clearly 2x is the best. No way, buddy. 1x definitely beats 2x. So many more advantages. What do you think? So many people have been asking me to do this video. Okay, not that many people. In fact, nobody's asked me to do this video at all, but I think based on my experience of using SRAM Force 1x, GRX 1x, and then a lot of 2x bikes, I've got some opinions about which is better over 1 or 2x and where both their strengths and weaknesses lie. So I'm shooting a video on a lovely sunny day to discuss the pros and the cons of both sorts of group sets. So my old Specialized Diverge with the 1x SRAM Force system was my first foray into 1x group sets, and I absolutely loved it. The shifting actuation was lovely, the brakes worked well, nice strong hydraulic brakes as you would expect. With their XD driver system, they had that 10 cog on there on the rear cassette, so you end up with a 1042 on the back, pair it with a 40 or a 42 up front. The range is not far off a sort of compact chain set 2x system on a road bike, but it did end up being quite gappy because of that. And when I got the Shimano GRX 1x, you reduce the gaps because you're now going from 11 to 42, but you lose some of that range. So neither system really is perfect, and I have to say I've got no experience on the new sort of SRAM AXS system, which is 12 speed, or indeed Campag and Rotor, who have gone 13 speed. Now the road world of cycling has always been slow to catch on, but if you look at it, mountain biking has always set the standard, whether moving across to disc brakes, going with a more progressive, slacker geometry, wider tyres, 1x group sets. So it will become the norm, but I do think it'll take these 12 and 13 speed group sets for that to happen. So I recently proactively decided to go back to 2x when I purchased this Salsa Warbird. 2x GRX, it's got a 46-30 chain set and an 11 to 34 cassette out the back, so the range is wickedly good. And of course you don't get anywhere near the jumps that you do on those larger cassettes. So all in, win-win, definitely 2x the way forward. Except I'm not sure it is. I don't think it shifts as nice. It's definitely not as light. There's more to think about. You're not just shifting the rear cassette now. And certainly with that Shimano GRX mechanical group set on 1x, you had a whole redundant lever which you could use for whatever you want. Drop a seat post, for example. Yeah, okay, so maybe to say whatever you want is a bit extreme. Literally drop a seat post is all I can think of. But that's a pretty good use on a gravel bike for sure. And whilst it might seem ludicrous on a road bike to have a drop a seat post, as GCN are proving with the newly outlawed sort of super tuck position, the pros could almost get that back into that position on a drop a seat post. So maybe not as crazy. Woo! Maybe not as crazy as we first thought. So I'm going to make some recommendations now, and I have to say this is mostly based around an 11 speed system because I haven't tried the 12 and 13 speed systems, and that might move the goalposts. But at the moment, if you're a road user, stick to 2x. You won't like the gaps on your group rides and you get a great range. If you're on a gravel bike and you use it mostly for road riding and you do ride in groups, stick to 2x for the same reasons. But if actually you mostly cycle by yourself and you want the simplicity of 1x, definitely go 1x. And for everyone else, I think it's time to go 1x. That's it, short and sweet today. It's a beautiful day, so instead of talk to you, I'm going to go ride my bike. Get out and ride, people. See you in the next one. Come on guys, help me out. What do you think? 2x or 1x? Thoughts? They say just be a sheep and follow the crowd.